وقفات مع عامر.
حياكم الله وهلا بكم. حنا بنقول الفن يجمعنا والفن للجميع. اليوم ضيفتنا تميزت بفن جدا جميل رائع من الفنون البصرية. هنشوف مع بعضنا كيف حولت أشياء معينة من طبيعة الحياة برسالتها الفنية بلمساتها البصرية لعمل فني أكثر من رائع. خلينا نشوف التقرير ويانا ومن ثم نستضيف ضيفتنا. تفضلوا ويانا. ضيفتنا اليوم من دولة فرنسا الأوروبية لكن من أصول تونسية، وهذا الشرف لنا العرب كلنا، فخلنا نكون مع بعضنا. Miss Lilia, it's an honor to have you with us tonight in Riyadh, where we call it the capital of the art of the Middle East. It's an honor to have you with us today.
It's an honor to be here and just to exhibit in this beautiful city.
I'm glad to hear that. Miss Lilia, I know that you've been for a very long time of your life in France. Yes, you're originally from Tunisia, but of course, always the culture plays it differently. But tonight's art, we're talking in a different way of art, which is the eye art. How do you compress to you as a professional photographer, how you converted into beautiful piece of art?
Thank you for that huge compliment anyway. And the fact is that I think it's a deep inner feeling that I had getting from the documentary photography and observing, because what we do as a photographer is to observe a lot.
Yes.
And then just to make a mix between, feeling things and seeing things. And the fact is that I was wondering to find how to show the unseen and to take the photography as an arm and to draw with it, and to then have all the ideas I have in mind and heart, and then just to throw it with the camera.
I would like to ask your permission. We will have it a little bit passionate and patient from your side, as we have to translate to our audience.
Of course, yes.
What we're
please,
saying.
I'm sorry for that.
No, please. الأستاذة ليليا طبعا هي مصورة احترافية جدا. العمل اللي طالعه هي من خلال دراسات وأبحاث سوته إلى ما وصلت للجودة اللي احنا جالسين نشوفها من خلال رؤيتها الخاصة بعمل فني، إنه كيف دمجت الصورة المرئية مع الفن في الشكل اللي احنا جالسين نشوفه مع بعضنا. أقول لكم بصراحة ما هي مجاملة، هذا من إحدى اللوحات اللي عجبتني في معرض الأستاذة ليليا، ولأكثر من سبب. كان فيها تحدي، فلو تتأملون في اللوحة إيش نشوف من خلالها؟ أكثر من جزئية. اللي أنا شفته كمتلقي متذوق للفن، إنه هنا كان رأس عصفور وهنا آخرتها ديل السمكة، آسف السمكة، وما بينهم في أشياء ثانية. خلينا نشوف الفنانة ليليا كفنانة بصرية كيف شافتها. I was telling our guest audience, I have seen it as a test of art. First part, the bird, last part, the fish, and the middle is the body between them. Yeah. I could not recognize how beautiful it is more than when I saw it when you translated in your vision. Could you share with us, please?
Well, the main idea is, and the name of the series is corruption. And corruption is about two things. Mm-hmm. Is first how we are looking at things. Mm-hmm. And we are looking at things, we just decide how we are looking at things. And if we decide that something is ugly, it will be. I mean, even if it's the most beautiful things on earth.
Yes.
If you decide it, it's over. But if you give a little bit of grace to something, mm-hmm. it's up to you just to decide and to give a little bit of,
fantasy touch?
Air.
Air, okay. Jamil.
A little bit of air in whatever you see. And that's why I was speaking about unseen. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you have beauty just in front of you. Simple as like that. And it's only up to you just to unface it.
How do you see it? But this is a leaf, right?
Absolutely.
هذه ورقة زرعة ما، لكن أي حاجة جميلة في الحياة فهي موجودة بطبيعة حنا كيف نشوفها وليس كيف موجودة. Miss Lily, when we see it from visual art, there's more than what I've seen in it.
The fact is that I'm a child. I play with things.
Okay.
And of course, as a photographer, I will play with your perception and your eyes. Mm-hmm. And in fact, yes, there's a hidden old woman within it.
في مرة كبيرة مخبأة في الصورة يا جماعة الخير.
And well, the first thing is that I was looking at this leaf and I have seen a bird. I've seen a colibri. A colibri is a little bird that is used or seen just like a bird that will, when there's a fire in the wood, he will take drop by drop water just to, make the fire finish. And then I decided just to hide an old woman. And you see one eye here, you see the nose here, and then the lips are here. And you don't see it, but you see it. And in fact, the framer told me he just didn't frame it in the good way. And when I told him, no, you have to frame it like that, he told me, now I'm not seeing the bird anymore, I'm seeing her only.
الأستاذة ليليا تقول إنه طبعاً في مرأة عجوز موجودة من ضمن الصورة. هذه من بداعة الفنان، فكفنانة بصرية في التصوير. أيوة، هذه جزئية العصفور، إنما هي لعب في الإضاءة سبحان الله. وهنا جت اللي هي عين الخشم والفم للمرأة، فهي مرأة موجودة ضمن الورقة. هي ما هي رسمة يا جماعة الخير بقدر ما هي مؤثرات بنفس الصورة. It's like filters you play with it.
Absolutely.
And the
different
digital,
lights.
different lights.
Yeah.
وإضاءة مختلفة. Superior.
Superb.
Superb. ممتازة.
Thank you. Thank you.
من جمال الفنون البصرية انه سبحان الله كل انسان يرى العمل الفني بغض النظر ايش هو رسم، هو خزيفات، هو معجنات او صور، هو فنون بصرية اللي احنا جالس نتكلم فيها، يراها بالطريقة اللي هو يحس بها. هذا الشيء من الطبيعة ضمن صحراء، ايش تخيلون هي؟ Miss Lily, I hope you understand. I know you understand Arabic, but it's your hard to talk in Arabic. This thing, when I first saw it, I thought it's like a bottle of water dry because of the dryness in the desert or in the empty spot. It cracks. And then when I start to see your theory in it, it's like, wow.
I love the idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. What is this exactly from your side to the audience?
In fact, well, first of all, the audience can see whatever they want. I mean, the most important is the imagination.
That's right.
But my first step was, it's a broken egg with another broken egg, with another broken egg. And the first idea that I was willing to give is that the union is a force, is a strength. And if you gather, you can stand up, even if you are in the desert. That was the first idea that I want to drop.
الفكرة هي هذا بيض طائر، إنما بيض ميت مكسر، فاجتمعت البيوض فوق بعضها. لكن فكرة العمل الفني إنه حتى لما يكون بيض مكسور، لما يتجمع في بعضه يصير في قوة تجمع وتلاحم مع بعضهم، اللي هو يتحدى حتى الصرها الجافة. ما شاء الله. اكسلنت. شكرا. لوحتين كل واحدة أبدع من الثانية، وكل واحدة مختلفة عن الثانية باختلاف طبيعة رسالتها. اللوحة الأولى إيش تخيلونها؟ ورقة غصن، لكن لها أسطورة. الأسطورة حنسمعها من الفنانة إلي. Miss إلي, this is a leaf paper. It's so dry to a point that it's almost dead. But there's a hidden story behind it. As an artist, what are you exposing out of it?
Well, the fact is that I'm exposing a mask. For me, I don't see a leaf, I see a mask. And I see life. Really, I see life. It's here, it's presented, and it's the kind of mask that we have when we are in society. And when we are in society, we just hide whatever we are. But in fact, you have emptiness and you have fullness, even if you have a mask in society. So, I'm going there saying that sometimes, with a mask or not, we can go and see through, or we can show off.
الفكرة إنه هو عبارة عن ماسك اللي نحطه على وجهنا. دائما الماسك له طرفين، وجه تشوف من خلاله، وجه مغلق لا تشوف من خلاله شيء. لكن في حياة، الحياة هي بذهنك أنت كيف تبغى تشوفها. قمة الإبداع. طبعا اللي لعبت في الطريقة هذه فنانتنا ضيفتنا اليوم اللي هي الألوان باختلاف الإضاءة. حنشوف اللوحة الثانية مختلفة كليا عنها. أنا will give you my expression first if you don't mind.
Please be my guest.
أول ما شفتها كمتذوق للفن قلت فرس البحر، لكن لما تخش تفاصيلها مختلفة كليا ولا لها علاقة لا من قريب ولا من بعيد بفرس البحر. I was expression that the moment I've seen it first, how I see it, and then when you come closer to it, you see it from a completely different angle. There's like 4 different pieces, right? I've seen it like a snake head, راس الحية، راس اللي هو الفرس، وفي الآخر طلعت فلفلة. وهنا شفتها أنا رجل مرأة، a woman leg part. From an artist, how do you see it?
Well, the fact is that yes, it's a paper.
It is.
And when I have seen that paper, I was, letting my imagination go away and see a seahorse, of course.
Yeah.
And more I was going, more I was effectively finding myself different excuse to not be in the reality.
Okay.
So I just tried to play with the lights, with 4 different lights during the shooting, just to show also العرق, the veins.
The veins of it, yeah.
To show that organic thing, heartbeat. Just like a body, a whole body,
yes,
with different parts, but a different body. And each part can speak to you the way you are okay to listen to. That's how people are.
مرة ثانية 4 إضاءات، 4 زوايا إضاءات مختلفة بدرجات حرارة مختلفة عشان تعطينا جزئيات مختلفة منها. والحمد لله فزت مع الأستاذة إلي إنه فعلا هذه جزئية الفلفل هذه كان خيال، وهذا من جمال الفنون البصرية والفن كله، انك تعيش خيالك. والجزء الأخيرة اللي هي عقبها اللي هي راس الثعبان أو الحية، لكن طريقة تكفيلة التصوير هو هذا الإبداع الفني عشان تعيش في خيالك مع الفن.
شكرا شكرا
شكرا.
شكرا.
من إبداع الفن انك تخلق حاجة من لا شيء او حاجة خارج المألوف. Miss Lilia, I've seen here something out of normal. Yes, I can see it's something about pain or في الألم. There's something between the cold and the harms, بين البرودة والهدوء والألم. It looks like it's an upside down.
Yeah, gravity is doing it.
Gravity. الجاذبية. أنا بقول لها الصورة كان أشوفها فوق تحت، هي بتقول لي أيوة الجاذبية. Okay. What does it talk about?
Well, the fact is, I'm talking about women.
Women, النساء.
Of course, yes. And sometimes when you are a woman and you cannot give birth, your world can be completely upside down because it's not normal.
It's true.
It's not, and you are asked to. And so, even if you are full of life and blood, the fact is that there's a cold thing getting in your life, which can hurt, and then can yes make you completely upside down. And the idea is just to get over that step. It's just to say, take that boundaries, and we can go a step further and make it happen, even if it hurts. Little by little, you can give life.
This is so positive.
I have to.
اللوحة هذه تتكلم عن المرأة بقساوة المحيط اللي حولها. عشان كذا اللوحة مقلوبة مع الجاذبية. لو كانت المرأة ما تقدر تخلف أو ما خلفت أو وما صار لها ظرف مما وربنا ما قدر إنه ظرفت، اللي هي البيض المتكسر اللي هم الأطفال، لأنه العصفور بيضته هو الخلف حقته، فيكون في عندك نوع من البرود عشان تهدي نفسك. لكن المجتمع حولك اللي هو الشائك والعواقد هذه هي اللي تألمك فيها. فأنا اعتبرتها لوحة نوع من الطموح لشيء أفضل، ووافقتني رأي الفنانة ليليا. Thank you.
شكرا.
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 لوحة ثانية بمعنى تخيل المرء بما يراه. اللوحة الثانية من الورق، برضو فنانتنا المصورة المبدعة بصراحة أنا أسميها، كيف لعبت في الألوان مع أنه هي ورقة لكن في طريقة ثانية. أنا شفتها برضو نوع من أنواع سمك البحر. I see it. There's another type of the fishes that have long tails, and this is the head of the fish. But I'm sure it's not a fish. And maybe because I'm a fisherman.
Nice, really nice. In fact, I'm again playing and playing and playing. This is initially a rose petal.
Okay.
And it poured rain on it. It was on a table. And
rose, warda.
Warda.
Wow.
Une pétale de rose, and it was on a table, a wooden table.
Yes.
And it poured rain on it.
Okay.
And when I have seen that, I think I was in Bahamas or something like that. I'm sorry for that. Seriously, I was seeing an atoll, and it was absolutely gorgeous for me. So I just took it. It was so subtle. It was so tiny. So I just take it just like a little bird and shoot it and play with, filters. I nearly burnt it, and it was on purpose. Life when there's no life.
Life when there's no life. عندما يكون حياة بدون حياة. تخيلوا يا جماعة الخير، سبحان الخالق، هذه وردة عادية، إنما كان عليها كمية مطر ما شاء الله غير طبيعية، فأخذتها من أنجلز وزاوية الإضاءة اللي لعبت فيها وشوية فلاتر في الديجيتالز، غير طبعا فلاتر الكاميرا نفسها اللي أعطتنا الإبداع. When you come up and edit the photo, of course we know that the quality of the printing, the materials itself makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But when you go to the edges, how do you do that? How do you play with it? This is not the full rose, I think, as originally it is.
Yeah.
You've played with the images or the darkness and colors.
Exactly. So first of all, you have, on technique point of view, you have the lens that you use. And typically the lens that I have used is a macro.
Macro, okay.
It's a macro one. I mean, there's no, I couldn't do it other way.
Yeah.
The second thing is that you use the aperture. And if you play with the aperture, in fact, when you shoot with a camera and a lens, it's exactly the same as an eye. In fact, the eye, you have the iris.
Yes.
The iris is the aperture. And the speed is just like your, I don't
Shutter,
know,
yeah.
is the shutter,
Yes.
the speed. And the more you give time to the aperture to have the light go on the iris, the more you will fix a movement or you will have a bright picture.
Yeah.
So typically, for the photographer who are interested in the techniques, this is a play with macro and this is a play with the lens and the aperture.
Believe it or not, I've read about these issues, but I never seen it, how it's gonna expose that close. من جمال الفن البصري هي وردة طبيعية، لكن طبيعة العدسة اللي تشتغل بها هي مايكرو، وطبعا الكاميرا أكيد ما شاء الله تبارك الرحمن كاميرا very بروفيشنال جدا احترافية. واللي يلعب دور أكثر فتحة العدسة. احنا عارفين طبعا العدسة كل ما تكبرها يصير في شيء إضاءة أكبر تركز عليها، وهذا نفس الشيء لو طالع بعينكم تحط عينك تفتحها كذا تحس إضاءة أكثر، تصغر عينك تصير إضاءة أقل. نفس الشيء بؤرة العدسة في الكاميرا والعدسة، وهذا اللي تلعب فيه الأستاذة إلي عشان توصل للنتيجة هذه، من ثم تجي تلعب في مستويات الإضاءة بين كل جزء والثانية. فنون بصرية. المعرض هذا أستاذة إلي I'm gonna call it hope، حسميه لك هو التمني، لأنه all I've seen, the majority of what I've seen is hope for the future, hope for the woman, hope for the humanity. التأمل أو التمني للمرأة والإنسانية. Even the eggs، حتى البيض أشوفه في روحانية. There's a hope again.
Absolutely.
I call it, with your permission,
Please.
the art show of humanity and hope.
Thank you.
It's more than anything.
Thank you.
Everything
That's,
you related into that.
That's huge. Thank you.
Pleasure is
Thank you
mine.
to see it like that.
As a conclusion, we would like to thank، في النهاية نبغى نشكر الفنانة التشكيلية، الفنانة البصرية والمبدعة المصورة الأستاذة إليت. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for giving us the time to be with us together.
Thank to you. Thank to you and thank to your eyes.
It's a pleasure.
Which is a direct line to the heart.
Exactly. And we have a common in our show. We say art for all, and art gather us, and that's what makes life so wonderful.
Absolutely.
That's what we mean. This is art.
Thank you so much. Union is a strength.
It is. Don't be a stranger on us, please.
Never, ever.
الفن يجمعنا دوم، والحمد لله هذا جزء جميل من الفنون البصرية اللي شفناه مع بعضنا مع ضيفتنا الفرنسية من أصول تونسية. فدوم وياكم بالفنون ودوم الفن يجمعنا. مسوم في الخير، برعاية الرحمن، أخوكم عامر الخالدي. مع السلامة.